Clobberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Clobberanimo!
Yo, hey. Oh, my good friends, welcome to Clobberin Times. It's you number 441 on YouTube, 1,141 overall. Yes, Clobberin Times coming at you since 2009. Now on YouTube. A little over 2 years on YouTube, but there you go. Good to see you, my friends. Welcome to a wild card Wednesday night where anything goes. Anything goes. Go where it goes, I don't know, but it'll go. Oh, that reminds me. I gotta get something ready just for later. I knew. Well, now I won't forget about it, will I? Okay. Oh, there we go. I'll check that out in a second. Almost forgot it. It did something. Anyway, good to see you, my friends. Thank you for being here with me tonight. Let us see. Of course, nothing big as far as show notes are going, other than naturally the clubhouse here tomorrow night with my wonderful first officer Raquel and our great chief engineer Mark D with AC, and of course Saturday night Star Trek. Both shows, of course, same Trek time, same clubby channel. Saturday Night Star Trek we'll be ending season 2 of Deep Space Nine. Two episodes, then we'll give an overview of the season and just have a little bit of a rap party there. And looking forward to that. What a bunch of great friends who show up. I want to thank, of course, the great J-Man for hanging out with me and doing our review show with me the other day. What a stir that's caused. And, of course, the great Mark D with the C for hanging with me on the show after that. And it's good to see you. Who's here? The great Bronze Wrencher's here. All right, buddy. Eric K. Great to see you, pal. Let's see here. Who else be here? Oh, my goodness. J-Man, what's up, brother? Again, the aforementioned. Good to see you, bro. Glad you're here. Our wonderful first officer, Raquel Briggs. She popped in earlier. I think she probably said she was going to not stick around. She had to run, but always good to see you. Love you. Brian Hepburn, hello there. Guagnar, what's up, my friend? Classic Comics. Hey there. Good to see you. Let's see who else be here. D Bud Martin, buddy, what is up, man? It is good to see you. So, and Dad, man, what's up, brother? Oh yeah, reaching out to me in the next few days. We got stuff to talk about and hang out about, don't we? Absolutely. Well, good. Yeah, absolutely, sir. I will look forward to it. Let's see. What was I looking for? It's something. I'll have to find it later. It's a picture I was looking for that someone sent me, and I can't bloody remember where it is now. Oh well, I'll get it later. All right. So, what's up, everybody? How you doing tonight? You guys okay? Everybody all right? Good. Man, getting cold in here. It's getting cold. Well, by at least by our standards, which up down here isn't much. So, excuse me. Well, I don't know if any of you remember or know. From Monday night, we had something. Hey, Donnie Pearson, good to see you. Welcome. Well, the J-Man and I were doing a classic comics review the other night. And we made a bit of a discovery that I shared upon Twitter later that caused something of a dust-up yesterday. For me, anyway, kind of a big... I mean, it wasn't, wasn't monstrous or mean or horrific or any of that kind of stuff. It wasn't like really out of hand or really super nasty. But it was a weird one. It was a weird one for sure. Because it caused a furor that I did not expect. Let's put it like that. We'll just I don't know if any of you saw it. What was going on? I guess I should explain the situation first. And kind of recap that a little bit so I can tell you and see if any of you were familiar with what was happening. But it was kind of crazy. Like I said, nothing really, really awful or evil or any of that kind of stuff. But it was nuts. So basically, Wagner, you said you saw it. Yeah, it's kind of strange. All right. Donnie Pearson, it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, my friend. Happy birthday to you. Hope you had a great birthday, sir. So J-Man and I were reviewing a classic comic. Of course, DC Comics presents number 29 by the late, great Lin Wein. Art by Jim Starlin and Romeo Tangau. Edited by the great Julius Schwartz, of course. And I had read just an online there's a site that we go to that just has all the comics on there online. Just read it so I can read it easier that way and we could show it. And J-Man had read his copy from Comixology, whatever, Comicology. People say Comicology, I say Comixology, or whatever it is. Anyway, he had read his digital from that. And we discovered a discrepancy. Let's call it that. Which was this. In the context of the story, there's a scene where the Spectre, who we all know, if you know the Spectre, he's the Wrath of God, basically. There's a scene where, as you can see here, the top for the original 1981 comic, a scan of that, there's a voice from nowhere, yet everywhere. Who? Do not be alarmed, my friend. So basically, As you can see with the blue lettering in the top part, God, it is implied that God, of course, is speaking to Superman and with the Spectre there, speaking to Superman is God. On the following page, it happens again. And in both instances, for the DC Universe app and Comixology, the words are blotted out, whited out there. Indeed, where no Superman has gone before, the title of the story. Yeah, absolutely. Brian, Donnie, yes, sir. So, being a troublemaking jackass that I guess I am. I guess I am. I really didn't think it would be. I didn't think it would amount to much. I got to be honest with you. I thought the most people would be amused. It's true. We were freaking out about it in a different, not freaking out about it. We were kind of, going, what the hell? My initial knee-jerk reaction, there's no question about it, was, and I didn't even consider any alternatives. It was to make the assumption. To make the assumption of something, I don't know about sinister, but something censoring for sure, where we kept kind of talking about how were they so afraid of a reference to God that they had to and I'm not religious, so I don't know why you even have to say that, but you do these days, So my tweet said, evidently DC cut my initial tweet from the 4th, which was like 2 or 3 in the morning or whatever yesterday, basically. It was evidently DC Comics doesn't like anyone thinking that they endorse a belief in God. And I wrote note page from DC Comics Presents number 29, 1981, page 15, God, in quotations, speaks to Superman and the Spectre. Top 1981 original issue, bottom part DC app, and the same as on Comixology. Page 16 also, I also have mentioned, okay? So that's what I tweeted out. Yeah, and J-Man is the one that pointed it out to me because my scan had it. And he says I was a bit stunned because I had read it like 3 to 4 times before prior to the stream. Okay. It is weird because you saw that version of it, which I did not know existed until you told me about that, Jay. So, and now I'm really glad I did not tag you in that. I thought about tagging you in that post, Jay, but I didn't. I just figured, I didn't want to bother you with it. Now I'm really glad I didn't because you would have seen all this crap about it that I got. It starts getting seen. As you know, sometimes I'll tweet something and people that aren't followers, I don't follow them and they don't follow me. If it's something to do with comics, I'm not a big expert on the algorithm, but it gets out there on Twitter. People start seeing it and people you don't even know start commenting. You start seeing all these comments all over the place for people you don't even know. And a whole bunch of people just went with and again, that's on me. I didn't even entertain any possibility other than it looks like DC censored it. Now, I was being something a bit sarcastic because we were talking about it on the show before I did that earlier about before I tweeted it that DC doesn't like the mentioning God. Now look, I was taking a backhanded swipe at DC. Sure I was. I was, but was my knee-jerk reaction to believe that DC would do that? Yeah, based upon what I think of DC now. Is that unfair? Yeah, it's unfair. Whatever. It didn't get a lot of traction at first, and all of a sudden, the next morning, I'm seeing all these people commenting, and I got one, people, a lot of people that I do know who were seeing it, like, yeah, they really just automatically went with the narrative that granted, I put out there, the one about it maybe being censored. And then all of a sudden someone comes in and says that they think it was a mistake with coloring, and when it was translated to the apps or whatever, whether it was Comixology first or whether it was DC app first. I don't know which had it first. And they made some kind of a mistake. But it obviously had to come from DC, even if it went to Comixology first. Well, however it works, however that goes, I don't know. But, and that was the first time anyone had mentioned it. I was like, yeah, okay, that might be the case. That absolutely may be the case. And I don't know. Andy Masterson, what's up, my friend? So all of a sudden, this thing starts, yesterday I was out on the road doing stuff, and I was out on the road, I was busy, but every now and then when I would check Twitter, this thing was going more and more. Was I getting people commenting on this tweet? Even and again, even Gail Simone. You all know who Gail Simone is, I'm sure. She's a well-known comic book writer. Whatever you think of her or whatever, I won't even go into that. I mean, I've never really read a lot of her stuff. I know a lot of people don't like her for her political views, and I don't agree with a lot of her politics either. And people like to make fun of her, whatever. Again, I don't know her. I've never had any contact with her whatsoever. Yeah, that's what people say, Andy. So I don't know her personally. I've never had any contact with her. I know that from things she said, I certainly don't agree with her, whatever, but I don't know her. And she didn't say anything bad. She just said she got a hold. I don't know how she even got wind of it, but she said that is weird. So that's something that that's what I was saying. It's a bit weird, and Gail Simone agreed that it was a weird thing. That's all. She didn't call anybody any names or get political or anything. She just said that. And then all of a sudden, Neil Gaiman. I don't know when people say Gaiman or Gaiman. I used to say Gaiman just for that habit, but I'm just going to say Gaiman. I mean, it's not an insult. I mean, it's Gaiman, Gaiman. I don't know what to say. Neil, Mr. Gaiman, someone asked him, and again, he's not like he was butting in anyone's business either. Someone asked him about it. So this was getting all over the place. I don't call it viral or anything. It's just Twitter, but it was, and Mr. Gaiman, he had and his answer was, or his, what he basically said was, God, let me see, what was it now? It's probably, I probably can't find it at the moment. It's probably so buried way back. He basically called it a goof, something that happens. It's happened to some of his Sandman reprints or transfers or whatever. And he said, and he topped off what he was saying with it's nothing. There's no deeper meaning to it, or something along those lines. And a bunch of people in his some sycophants in his little thread. And again, that's all Neil Gaiman said about it. He didn't. I mean, I don't think he was insulting anybody in particular, but he was being kind of, he was being very sure of himself. I'll tell you that. Just pasted it into the chat. What did you paste into the chat? Gwagnar, where did you put that? In what chat did you put that, sir? Or what did you put? Okay, thank you. I see. Gaiman said it happened several times when we were doing the recoloring on Sandman. It's a fairly usual goof. There is no hidden meaning behind it. Now, he didn't say doing the recoloring for a digital. Thank you, Wagner. I appreciate that, buddy. Someone said because they scanned, tweaked the black plate and recolored it, and they failed to notice there was lettering done as an overlay on the blue plate. It happened. Okay. Here's the problem with that, Neil. If I may call you Neil. He's talking about, it doesn't look like he's talking about digital. He's talking recoloring. Again, tweaked the black plate and recolored it and failed to notice there was lettering done as an overlay on the blue plate. We're not talking about plates here. This comic, as far as I know, and I'm not sure about this, I don't think this comic book has ever been part of any collection or reprinted ever. Neil, you're talking about Sandman, which has been reprinted a bazillion times. So I can see it happen, what you're talking about with Sandman. DC Comics Verse number 29, when has that been collected? Maybe it has. I don't know, though. But if it hasn't, then you're not entirely accurate. But either way, Neil Gaiman is not giving an informed opinion either. But I'm not saying that I did, because I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know why this happened. But Neil doesn't really either. He, just like he's giving an anecdotal opinion. He's going completely from an anecdote. I'm not even giving an anecdote. Mine is theory and speculation. His is close, but now either could be possible. This could have been some dumb censorship. And by the way, Mr. Gaiman, Marvel and DC have been censoring comics for content when they do reprints, or in this case, digital, for years. You talk like, it's like almost like you're saying no hidden meaning behind it. Well, there have been plenty of times when there have been agendas behind it, okay? When they've messed around, when they've reprinted comics. Hey, Pops. Good to see you, Pops. Oh, I had to get, okay, well, thanks for popping in. Pops, popping in. Okay, it is reprinted. There you go. I figured, okay, it's reprinted in Superman in the 80s Showcase presents this. Okay, good. Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Brian. I knew I could count on somebody to find out for me. So it has been reprinted. So Neil Gaiman might be right, but he doesn't. Now, again, why did it happen twice? Is my question. It happened on page 15, then it happened on page 16. That doesn't make him wrong. And now that we know it's been reprinted, that makes it more of a possibility. Nevertheless, unless he talked to somebody at DC, and he could, he's Neil Gaiman. He could get on the phone right now and get to the bottom of it because he's Neil Gaiman. Not that we need it; it's not a big deal. But unless he did that, he's going from purely an anecdotal perspective. He is giving an opinion based on anecdotal evidence, whereas I'm not even giving that. I'm just saying, or mine is just strictly theory or conjecture. So his anecdote certainly carries more weight than what I said, but mine was kind of based in some, half sarcasm, because I don't know what's going on, and neither does he. Just another red shirt. What's up, my friend? Now, Mark D, let's see what's up. They said, I call BS. They were scanning, not recoloring. Maybe an all messed up. Now, it does look like, now that we know that it's been reprinted, they did recolor it. Maybe an AI messed up, but it would be hard to impress not to pick up text letter boxes. Would be wiped out all the time. It happened twice. Canadian Spider-Man, look you, what's up, dude? Does whatever a Canadian Spider can. So I'm not saying it wasn't a goof up. Remember, though, folks, it happened twice. That's kind of weird. Nothing else in the book was messed up. That doesn't make me right about it. I don't really care that much. I mean, other than I thought it was just an amusing thing to come up with. And as Gail Simone said, it is weird. It's a weird thing to happen because of considering Exhibit A and B, which are two instances, not one, and nowhere else in the book did it happen that I could see. So they did recolor it. That now we know, thanks to Brian Hepburn's information, because I wasn't sure. I'd never seen it reprinted before. I don't have that book. But sometimes they just, sometimes they don't. Some books haven't been reprinted, and some of them just make it to the apps or the Comixology. So now we know. Again, I really appreciate that, Brian. Now we know It's been reprinted. So that lends a little more credence to what Mr. Game is saying. And look, that might be true. But I will admit that my knee-jerk reaction was to believe that DC might do something like this because they're DC Comics. And I will say that they've messed around with when reprinting things, they have messed around with content before for reasons other than mistakes. Apologies, Minion and Pupper. Hey. For reasons other than mistakes, they've done it on purpose. Hungry boy. Hungry for more Starlin like the 1970s Gamora. Good to see you, buddy. I hope you're doing well. So, Mr. Gaiman might be correct. Again, he wasn't rude or anything. Seems I don't know him personally. I know we probably don't agree on a lot of things, but he always seems like the things people have told me they've met him and other people say he's an affable sort of guy. So, and he probably thought it was ridiculous that someone was saying that this was, or implying that this was censorship. The thing is, that is not that far. It might not be censorship, but that's not far-fetched to think it sometimes. And mine was just a silly theory with some sarcasm under it, and I probably should have been more clear when I put that out there. But there were a couple of people that thought it was some kind of a mess up like that were polite and really cool about it. So it wasn't a bad thing. Nobody really started on my thread. Nobody came after me that much on my thread. A couple of people. And, I didn't really get into it with them. And then a couple of people on the, had said a couple, some stuff. And they said some nasty stuff on Neil's thread a little bit. But, they made some dumb jokes there. But again, he has nothing to do with Neil Gaiman. He was perfectly fine. And so was, I know we're going to get in trouble for this. Gail Simone, just all she said was, that's weird. And, and I tend to agree. It is a weird thing. Not a biggie. No one hurt. But I was like, man, I did not expect that thing to blow up like that. Hungry Boy says, I can only say what Gaiman was like in the 90s, which are not today. Yeah. I think I bumped into him at a con one time and he was nice to me, but I don't know. And again, I have nothing really for or against personally. I don't know. But so yes, it was kind of a weird thing. I didn't expect it to blow up like that. Man, I gotta watch what I tweet. I didn't think, look, I'm nobody. Once in a while I've tweeted a few things here and there that caught other eyes, like people, and I'm like, why? It's not that big of a deal. But I guess I should have known it was going to be controversial. I should have known better, but no. What are you going to do? It's no big deal, though. I am for the Black Orchid miniseries. Are you talking about? Yeah, I remember the Gaiman one, but that was. Oh God, who did that art on that one again? That had some weird art on that one. I think I know I sold it. I am for it. Did you do the art on that one, Hungry Boy? You can tell me. Because I remember it was a nice format too. The Black Orchid miniseries. No one had seen her forever. Then they did that one. I guess it was late 80s or whatever. Why am I forgetting the name of who did that art? Today we exist in the alternate dimension of mountains out of molehills, Clobby. We sure do, buddy. Oh, no, Wagner. Like I said, I don't think it was that bad either. I didn't say it was. No. I didn't see anyone trying to get you kicked off of Twitter. No, they didn't. And I hope I didn't mean, and I never said that they did at all. McKean, that's right. Dave McKean. Whatever happened to him? I don't know. That could be your secret identity for all I know, Hungry Boy. I was just checking, dude. You can be Dave McKean. I'd forgotten who did that. of the art for that thing. And I mean, let's face it. I mean, how much art did Dave McKean actually even do back then? I mean, how many comics did the guy even do? Not a lot. I mean, I don't remember a lot. I mean, he did some, but I mean, not a gigantic body of work, would you say? So, anyway. You know what, Hungry Boy? It's probably time for some tripwire. What do you think? What does everyone think here? Do you think Hungry Boy wants to see some tripwire? I can't be McKean because I won't do digital. Does he do digital? What is he even doing now? I mean, I don't think I've even thought about that name in 20 years or more. That was like 3. Oh, sheet. Well, I don't know. So who's ready for some tripwire? Mark D, if you ever feel like it, you can pop in whenever if you choose. Yeah, Violent Cases, Black Orchid, then covers. Yeah. Did he do a lot of Sandman covers or Hellblazer covers and whatnot? Yeah. Yes, I don't know. Was he the one that did Arkham Asylum? All right, well, let's do the tripwire. Let's do it. We are now at number 13 on our tripwire list. Again, I'll go ahead and set it up. For those who do not know, okay, so he did do Arkham Asylum. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Arkham Asylum. All the Sandman covers. Was it all of them? Okay. Didn't realize it was all of them. That's a lot of trades. He did Arkham. No, I take it, sir. I take it, Hungry Boy. I say, son. I take it you're not a fan. I'm not trashing him. No. It's all Hungry Boy. Which rock song? Yes, he did Arkham Asylum. I remember Arkham Asylum. Yes, Claude, and there's Steve Mitchum. Hey, trivia question: which rock song starts with "Hail"? All right, Jay, man, have a good one, buddy. We gotta get together and hang soon. Do another review soon, buddy. Okay. So anyway, tripwire, folks. What I mean by tripwire is that for about a year or so ago, a Once magazine, it was actually once a physical magazine, a British one called Tripwire. I don't know if they do the physical copy anymore. They might. I just don't know. I haven't seen it in a while. They may do it. There's Tripwire magazine. British mag, I believe. That is, of course, online. Now, about maybe something like a year ago or so, they started this list that they were doing on a weekly basis called the 101 Greatest Comic Artists of All Time. Yes. An ambitious undertaking. Well, so by the time I discovered this, they were down like number 50 something or other. So I did a show where I counted, I looked at all the ones that they had already. And then each week down since then, I've been looking at every entry. Sometimes they would miss a week, then they would pile up 3 or 4 of them in a row. But anyway, I don't know. It's difficult to tell, and I haven't really dug that deep. Who's compiling this list, how they're coming to this conclusions and stuff. But as you all know, I've been very combative to the placement. Not so much the people on the list, but some of the people that are on there way, way back in like the 60s. Now, 60 this or 60 that or 50 this or 50 that. I understand its opinion. Are people that are way too low, criminally low. Criminally low. They had, for example, Murphy Anderson at at 100. Are you kidding me? Jim Aparo at 99. Maurice Severin at 81. Nick Cardy at 65. Just give you a couple of examples. Alex Toth, number 60. That's ridiculous. Gil Kane. Gil at 54. That tells me you guys, I don't know what you're talking about. George Perez at 46. So obviously I've been having a lot of trouble with this list. Again, just opinions, not the end of the world. And John Byrne at 25, which doesn't bother me much, even though, I got my problems with Byrne, but I don't know. Anyway, you've got guys like Hal Foster at 33. Bern Hogarth at 34. Bill Everett, 37. Just to give you just a few examples. Well, now we're at tonight's number is 13. I don't know if this one, if they've got the 12 yet, we'll find out. But the latest one, because the last week they did a cluster of them. Tonight's number is 13. Last week was number 14 was Alex Raymond. Very deserving, and he deserves to be very high. So, he could be anywhere as long as he's somewhere in the top 20, as he is, I can respect it. I can respect that. But man, oh man. And again, I remember, look, I understand it's subjective. So I don't know how they're arriving at this, though. Some of the artists they have over some of the other ones, it's just incredible. It's just insane. So, number 13, folks. StreamYard's changed stuff again. Wow, man, stop changing words around. Sorry. Share now share says present instead of share. 13, you're okay, Hungry Boy. 13 is deserving. In fact, number 13 on their list is number 7 on mine. And number 13 is the great Jim Steranko. Now my list, I'm not someone calling anything the greatest. My list is my favorites. My favorite artists that my late great friend Mark C. and I did a couple of years ago. We did our top 25 favorite comic book artists countdown. So Jim Steranko, at least he's high up. He's my number 7. But that's just my favorite list, It's at least he's high up there. That means Steranko's one of the greats. Now, again, when it comes to body of work, you could argue, did he do a lot? But at least Steranko's high up there. Could have been higher. Let me, this thing's taking a second to load. So there we go. There's the escape artist right there, the magician. Steranko changed the game, to be honest. I was expecting these wanks to list him under 45. Yeah. Well, like I say, we hadn't gotten to him yet, so you knew he would be here somewhere. And he's one of the greats. There's no question about it. So, like I say, from now on, everybody on this list, from now on, you can breathe easy, Hungry Boy. They're probably all going to be deserving. You're just going to go, are they deserving to be ahead of guys like Kane and Ramita and, and Foster and people like that? I mean, the placement's the problem. Most of the people on this, even on this entire list, certainly, I think, belong somewhere on it. But their placement is wacky, sometimes insane. Again, just an opinion. And we all, but they're saying greatest. Not, this is not a favorite list like mine would be, or like an individual's list would be. But there's Steranko. I mean, look, God, oh my God, it's one of the. I doubt that we'll pick the best examples of his great work, but man, he was just he was extraordinary. I love his Shield stuff, but we're gonna see, his Captain America stuff was fantastic also. So a fine choice, a little low for my tastes. But at least he's on there and high up too. I mean, 13's high for these people, but I mean, a little low for me. Like I said, I have him on my list. I have him at number 7 on my favorite list. Steranko History of Comics. I have both of those Steranko Histories of Comics. Love them. Hungry Boy says Steranko's Nick Fury doing the Hound of the Baskervilles Tale was one of my treasured issues for 30 years and helped shape my art. Wow. Maddie's daddy says, if I were trying to convince a normie that comic art was legitimate art, I would show them Steranko, among others. Yeah, good point. Good point, Steve. I'm with you. Hungry Boy said, I'm relieved I go 6. Hey, I'm number 6. No, can't blame you at all. The guy was a master. Is still, and he's still with one of the few of the great old timers that's still with us. Even though I didn't get a chance to talk to him because I stood at his table at Dragon Con one year for like 20 minutes waiting to get to talk to him, and I never got a chance to get in it because he was having a conversation, with someone. Damn it. Wagner says, my first Steranko was his short run on Captain America. Yeah, it's Captain America run. My God. Great stuff. So, there you have it for number 13. I don't know if there's a number 12, but we'll take a look really quick here and see if they got. Sometimes they only give us one a week. Sometimes I think they're trying to move this list along a little bit. So let's see if they put any other. Last week there were like 4 of them because I don't know, they had some kind of hold up. But I don't know. We'll take a look, see if there's another one. No, I don't think so. So we'll just have the one for this week. So there'll be number 12. Looks like number 12 will be next week. Okay, it's, the way they got this site set up, it's very difficult to tell sometimes. It's very wonky. It's wonky McWonkface.
Hey, good evening.
The C with a D, Mark D. What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
All right, man. What's
yeah, I guess that was a pretty good choice for number 13, right? I don't know, would you have had Steranko higher or?
I have him at number 7 for me. It's my personal list. But
but that's pretty close though. Yeah, relatively close. Yeah.
So since we're at number 12, at number 13 for them, I think all of the people from my 25 on down have already been on this list somewhere or another. They've got my 25 is John Buscema, my 24 is Marshall Rogers, 23 Al Williamson, 22 Walt Simonson, 31 was Steve Rude. Was Steve Rude been on this list yet? I can't remember. Nick Cardy at 20, Joe Kubert at 19. Has Joe Kubert been on this list yet? I don't know.
I think so.
I don't know if they had Kubert yet. They may have. I have to check my notes. Grell at 18, Steve Ditko at 17, Alex Ross 16, Bertie Wrightson 15, Dave Cochran 14, and my 13 would be Wally Wood. I know it was sacrilege to Mark D with the C. So that's where I am. And a lot of these are already on there.
Just different, much higher up or lower, I should say, relative to,
We don't.
ranked not as highly. Yeah.
He did kind of leave comics though after a while. He didn't do much. He's done a lot of other stuff. I mean, but one of the two, he's only really associated, if you think about it, with two series. I mean, his short runs on Captain America and his a bit longer run on Nick Fury.
Yep, the old classic Nick Fury. Yep. You try to explain who Nick Fury was, that gets confusing these days, right?
And then a lot of covers, but yeah, and then yeah. No, that's the real deal, Nick Fury there for me. So
for a while, wasn't Nick Fury in the comics? The current iteration is actually the son of Nick Fury somehow, and I think now they retcon. I don't know. I'm not up to date, but they're trying to explain how the character changed his appearance, shall we say? Yeah.
For a while, yeah, I don't know because I'd already tapped out, but of that regular Marvel books. But I do know that for a while that they were always finding weird explanations for him to stay young and stuff.
Yeah.
Steranko before Starlin showed that you could do a 13-panel page followed by a 3-panel page and make it work. Says Hungry Boy. Indeed. He says if Trip wanked certain darlings above Steranko, I'm gonna spit iron bolts from the Titanic wreck. Says Hungry Boy.
Them is
Classic
fighting words. Yeah.
Comic says Steranko is similar to Michael Golden. His influence is much greater than his actual body of work. Yeah, the Michael Golden did do. I mean, yeah. I mean,
not that many though.
He didn't that much, other than the Nom forever. He never stayed on a series that long, except for the Nom.
Yeah.
Which I guess I don't even know how long he did that, but he did it for a while.
It was like 80 issues or something.
Maybe. Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it's just a rough guess. But Micronauts was only the first 12, and then he did a bunch of covers. Obviously, kept doing covers. He was famous for doing a lot of, like some nice Star Wars covers. But I think people just really loved his art so much. So I guess I'll see him again at Comic-Con this weekend. Maybe I'll get to dig up my Micronauts #1 to get signed. I don't know how much
will that cost?
I don't know. I'm afraid to ask.
Yeah, and you can't. He didn't do the cover. Dave Cockrum did, but you can get him signed inside.
But I guess he could. Where you sign the cover anyway, because he's the artist on the inside. So. Yeah,
but you're gonna get him to sign the cover. The cover he didn't draw.
Yeah, because then if I've never slabbed anything, but if you do, it's like you want to see that on the cover. You want to see the signature.
In that case, get him to sign one of his best covers. Get him to sign. You know what? Get him to sign the cover of a comic he only did the cover of, but not the interior. I'm kidding. Yeah. But he did I love that Man-Thing cover he did for Micronauts.
Oh yeah, he did some. Yeah, I have a poster of that actually.
I don't know what issue number it was, but
yeah.
Let's see. My Crew Notes. Micronauts. Michael Golden covers. But you know what I'm talking about. Obviously, you know that one, the Man-Thing. That was great.
Yeah, that was a cool. Yeah, when they came through. Yeah, was that issue number 6? I can't remember.
I'll find it. Here we go. Well, what issue was that?
And when you're looking for that, Wagner says, Nick Fury Jr., who looks like Samuel Jackson, took over for Nick Fury when Nick became the Watcher. Yeah, I knew it was something like that. Yeah.
Let's see here. Man-Thing. You make my. Let's see. There you go. Bop. There's the cover. What a good. I want to find it. Oh, that's a special edition. I don't like that one. There we go. Number 7.
Oh, I said number 6. Oh, come on. Memory.
That's a good cover. Oh man, I would get him to sign. I'd get him to sign number 16 cover. I know he didn't do the interior of it though, so you know you're not. I don't think he did.
Are you sharing your screen or?
Oh yeah, well, now it's not sharing. It says present.
Oh, present. Yeah. Present. We're very fancy now on streamers.
What the hell's wrong with you people?
We present. I kept doing that yesterday on Toxic Tuesday. I'm like, it's time to share the screen, and I'm like, wait a minute, what's this present?
We're very highfalutin business, suckers.
Present screen.
Yeah,
screen.
Yeah, what the deal up with that? So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying you could get him beside a Dave Cockrum cover, but at least it's Micronauts number one. Micronauts number one. You know, I hear you. I hear you. Oh,
Well,
that
yeah,
thing,
when I was there last year, someone brought over like a stack of 20 Micronauts number one, and he just signed them, boom, 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 signed them all quick. I guess it was for a deal or somebody to deal with.
How about did he do this cover? He did this wraparound cover for the special edition, but it looks like shite.
I don't like that. I mean, it's not bad. I don't think it's shite, but yeah.
I don't know if he didn't even do that cover. Geist did the cover, so. But that's not the Man Thing one. Might not even be his best cover. What about the one? Oh, what about the one with the lawnmower?
Lawnmower. That's his best one, I think. Is that number? There it is on the right. Yeah, that's number.
Oh, you see
8,
it?
Maybe. Second middle row, all the way to the right.
Oh, there we go.
What number
That's
is
a cool
that?
one. Number 2.
That's number 2. That's number 2 already.
Yeah, and he did do that cover. Looks like it anyway to me.
Yeah, or maybe I'll bring like 1 through 6. If I had the money, I'd have him sign the first 12 for me.
Who knows what it's going to cost?
Yeah.
Let's see. He did.
I don't know what he charged. I don't know. I mean, you really shouldn't charge that much to sign a freaking your signature.
We shouldn't
sign a free. I mean, I don't mind paying something, but it's got George Perez was spent half a day at comic book shop when I was at no charge for anything. I mean,
yeah. I also prefer Golden to ink himself after 1982. Nice, crisp, controlled line. Says Hungry Boy. Absolutely. Yeah, ROM 9. Oh, man, his ROM covers were incredible. I know he didn't do the interiors, but geez, he did one that was gorgeous. Like the one with the I know, but again, you wouldn't. I know you want him to sign something he actually drew the inside of.
$80 a signature for CGC.
What?
At CGC, this is a private in-house CGC private signing. $80 per, but it includes CGC grading. Turnaround is $20 fee. Encapsulation with yellow series label. Holy crapolas!
Steve says,
"Goodness gracious."
Steve says Steranko had one impossible thing in common with Bill Everett. They both put as much care into the faces as they did into the muscles. You could tell Nick Fury from Reed Richards without the patch. Good pernt. Wow. Good pernt indeed.
I'm saying he's charging $5 per signature. This is 2020. That's more reasonable.
5? That's okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, $5. Yeah, so if I get,
is that all? In fact, I'm shocked by that.
$60 to charge. If I did, well, who knows at Comic-Con? I'm saying
I'm actually shocked by that price.
Yeah.
I would have thought it'd been $20 or something crazy.
Yeah.
Or something stupid like that.
Well, he's not I mean, he's popular, but only with it's a niche. Like, come on, it's a niche. Micronauts are a niche. How many Micronauts fans are out there, right? I mean, and Hungry Boy had a good point too. Yeah, he is very popular. I guess too with his covers. You hit a lot of people too with those covers. Even if you're not writing the whole book, you get a lot of attention for that. So, he did a couple of. He did a nice Batman cover for 84. So that gets people see all that cover work, and
this is a great cover, except for that dumb stuff at the top. This Marvel comic might be worth $25,000 to you, but
mine never was. Yeah,
I mean,
hey, your Muslim uncle.
Your Muslim uncle's here. Hey there, good to see you, your Muslim uncle, my friend. Actually, 5 shocks me, but I love this cover of Rom right here by him.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Rom was a great book too. I mean,
I love Rom. Yeah,
really, really well done. Great story. The toy kind of sucked. No, don't get angry at me, toy people. No, I'm one of you, but I had a friend who had it. You didn't want to play with it after 5 minutes. It sucked. And it looked horrible.
The best thing about that toy was the commercial for it. There's actually a commercial with Robert Vaughn doing the voice, the man from U.N.C.L.E. doing the voice for the ROM Space Knight commercial. Have you ever seen that? Wow.
I remember as a kid. Yeah, we wanted the toy, and then my friend got it. Yeah. It was expensive. so it was expensive to get, and then it didn't really work that well. You know, back then the electronics were not that great. I mean, so it you know, and then you play with it, try to play with it as a kid, and you know, you're like, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. Yeah. So
Neil Adams inked this cover on Michael Golden on
yeah.
Micronauts, by the way.
And I was thinking Neil Adams too, because wasn't most of his work covers? Neil Adams, would you say?
At that point, I mean,
Percentage-wise?
I don't remember him ever even.
No,
Yeah.
but his body of work. I mean, I know he did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was covers,
Wouldn't-
but him
it was
inking
cover-
Michael
so-
Golden on a Micronauts cover for
Yeah,
God's sake?
wow. But I'm saying in terms of recognition, right? I mean, you can be you know, known just for covers, and people will follow, you know, will follow you or love your work, you know, even if you're not doing.
Well, yeah.
Like, remember we said he did a lot of Flash work, didn't he, Neil? I'm just kidding. Sorry,
Don't even.
it's in a stone even.
No one's gonna get that one.
No one's gonna get that one. That's an
No.
inside joke.
It's an inside.
But,
I mean, no one would have, yeah,
Two inside. Yep. But
two inside.
was just
Actually,
a little
it
bit
says-
outside.
So these Pinterest idiots said it was Neil Adams. I'm like, I don't think he worked for Marvel. Didn't know it was Joe Rubenstein, dummies. Joseph Rubenstein. I don't think Neil Adams inked that cover.
Okay.
Oh no, Neil did a lot of interiors in the 60s and 70s, and then not so much in the 80s. And after that, you know, again, it's just But he did a lot of cover work.
Yeah. He's known for, you know, as a specialty. Yep. Which is great too. You probably get paid more for the cover, right? I mean,
Well, it's good work. It just depends on the yard. Now, back then, it just depended on who you were. There were some
Yeah.
artists that made a living on doing nothing but covers, like Brian Boland. Eventually, I mean, how much interior work did that guy ever do after he left 2000 AD? Yeah. Your old toys. Hello there.
hey, your old toys. Yeah, we're talking about old toys, the Micronauts. Yep. Yeah, I got to go over the list of artists and plan out my. Gotta be better organized this time.
Oh, do you
for
have
my
a
Comic-Con experience?
Who's going to be there?
Well, Golden will be there. We did it on Saturday night Sunday night geek reviewing.
Okay. As far as the
But
comics
really,
people, who's gonna be there?
some of my favorite people canceled though. So
Hmm.
I mean, it was really
I can't believe Dan Slott canceled on you.
yeah. So Slot canceled. I mean, I was gonna try to get reinstated on Twitter with him, and you know, say maybe Gail Simone will be there. Just
You
kidding.
think? Is she going to be there?
I don't know. I gotta check the list again, but
Well, I hope so.
yeah, but she was actually pretty nice in that exchange, I guess. Yeah.
All she said was that's weird, and she agreed. Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
So that's fine. I don't have anything against her.
Yeah. I mean, I
well,
think
that-
it's. I mean, I do a lot of Photoshop work, so the only thing I can think of is if you know, they scan that, and then they had an AI or some, you know, filtering system is try to undither, but then to take away that
twice.
Yeah, but to take away, well, the text is very similar in both instances. But if you had a filter like that would take out that text, that's pretty dangerous on a comic book. It's not like you're working with a picture where you're just smoothing it out, but you would actually have to go in there. Like if you're doing that by hand in Photoshop, you would use your your wand tool to select that area, but it would still get the path would still be there with that text. So that's a weird thing to get wiped out by Photoshop.
But it wasn't.
Like
It wasn't that though. Now we know, thanks to our buddy Brian Hepburn, that it was reprinted. Now I don't know. I don't know that reprint though. I haven't seen that reprint. Now I'd have to find that book. But it was reprinted. I can't remember the name of the book. Brian told us what it was. It was reprinted. One of those, some kind of greatest stories, specters. What book was that? Damn.
Well, it'd be interesting to see
But
if
it
it's
was
missing
reprinted.
if it's missing in there.
So if that was the case and they just scanned it, hey, Phantom Outsider, what's up, dude?
Hungry Boy says Photoshop. Yeah, I do a lot of photography, Hungry Boy, so it's okay, right?
Yeah.
You use Photoshop for photography. Yep. Not for drawing.
He might forgive you.
He
So,
might forgive me. Yeah.
If this was taken if it was scanned from the reprint for the apps, which is what they would do, the cleaned up, and that did make me wonder when we were looking at it on the app that art looked like it had been cleaned up for a reprint type thingy.
Well, I mean, if a human's doing it, you got to be a moron, right?
There were
So, I
3.
mean, so if it's a human
There
doing
were
it
3
manually,
reprints. Wow,
yeah,
I
so
don't
he
remember
said-
that. Okay, here we go. Thank you.
so-
Superman in the 80s. Okay, I don't have that. Showcase presents the Spectre Volume 1. Showcase presents DC Comics presents Super Team Ups 2 in the DC Universe by Lynn Wein. Oh, damn, I don't have any of those damn books. And I know I want them.
but it would be interesting to see if you could find anyone has those. I don't know if Brian has those. It would be interesting to look at. Is it missing in any of those copies? I mean, I'm not a
So,
conspiracy
do you have any of those
person
books,
either.
Brian, or no?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more one. Hey, look for an innocent explanation. But if you're doing it manually, that's a colossal f up, because if you're doing, for Photoshop and if they have an algorithm that goes through or filtering to try to, clean up, there is an auto cleanup, but what are you gonna? That's because you go through the page like that, and it's looking through the whole page. I can't imagine, Neil Gaiman was trying to say, well, they lost it because of the colors, the way they recolor when you're. I mean, I don't know what their process is, but I do a lot of desktop publishing and for work, and that's a really weird thing to happen. I guess maybe it's different because they're doing it in bulk. But
I have a friend. I have friends that have 1 or 2 of these books, so I'll get them to check.
Oh, good. All's forgiven, says Hungry Boy. The clams and Almoraine might take a while.
What did he say? I'm not sure.
I think he said Almoraine. Might take a while to forgive that.
You're not going to trick me.
Right?
So, no, Phantom Outsider, we're not sure what happened.
Yeah, so you want to always give, hey, always try not to point towards the conspiracy, and you were kind of tongue in cheek. You were kind of tongue in
kidding.
cheek.
I mean, but everyone took it, a lot of people took it serious the people who took it seriously on both sides, people who were outraged that they think that DC would do something like this, which I wouldn't be outraged by it. I would just think it was stupid, and I'd go, figures. I have no outrage, no anger. I get accused of being angry about it. I'm like, I'm not angry about anything. So, and then there were people who were angry that I would dare say it. How dare, no way. It had to be some kind of mistake. There's not even the possibility of them doing it. Well, you clearly don't know DC Comics and modern. You don't know 2022, or whenever this was done. Now, again, the belief that it was, like I said earlier, the belief that it was a mess, a screw up, is probably what it was. I mean, it's probably when I think, because look, I can change my mind on things, folks, and I can be persuaded of things easily enough. I was just throwing a silly theory out there, laughing, kind of goofing off, and some people on both sides took it really seriously. That was my fault for not tweeting it in some other kind of way.
You could put quotation marks around it, kind of thing.
I was just goofing. Nah, I should have not even done it that way. I should have said something like, did DC censor this on purpose, or was it just a mistake? And that way, boom, covered. But no, I just said, I made the dumb joke about how it looks like DC doesn't want to endorse a belief in God. I was like, and people ran with it, and no one, it wasn't nothing horrible happened, but there were some people that thought that were really mad about, really incensed about it, because they ran with it it was like what I said was true. Absolutely, that must be what it was. They didn't entertain any possibility. And one person before Neil Gaiman was brought into it did come in and say the idea of that it was a mistake, and here's the name. And that person had an interesting conversation with, a nice civil conversation with it. A couple people came in with a few snide remarks here and there. It was nothing nasty. And Gail, I don't know, someone showed it to Gail Simone. She said that is weird. And Neil, like I said, someone posted earlier what Neil said about it, and he said, and Neil, if I may call you Neil Gaiman, and he just said that it was something that happened on some of his Sandman reprints. They said there's nothing more to it than that. Basically, what he said. Now, again, unless he is talked to and does have the clout to do it, he's Neil Gaiman. Talk to anybody at DC, and they said, "Oh yeah, oh that happened. Yeah, they just and told him for sure, which is possible. He could do that, unless
I just
or if
like to
he's
know
just
the.
if
Yeah, I
he's
just
just
like to know
saying
the
that.
procedure.
Wait,
Yeah, like
wait, but if he's
sorry.
saying that, I mean, then I'll go, okay, well, he should know if we talk to them. But if he hasn't vetted that with them, then what he's saying is anecdotal opinion. It's based in speculation. It's probably the right one, but it's still not. It's not verified either.
Yeah.
So neither one, and mine's just silly. Mine's silly conjecture, made half-assed, admittedly, and his is probably closer to what happened, but neither one of us have definitively laid the cards on the table with the receipts and saying this what happened. DC altered trades, digital copies in the past, so it's not that big of a stretch. Exactly, they have altered reprints before, not by accident either, on purpose. Sometimes for different cutting corners, and sometimes because of the content. I mean, look, there are whole stories from the 40s that DC had planned. In one case, there was a Captain Marvel, as in the Shazam one, bunch of stories that they had planned. Everyone was looking forward to, or fans of that, just a few years back for one of their archives. And then some jackass at DC came along and said, "Hey, it's not politically correct enough. It's so offensive," and they canceled it. DC did that. Just saying. Sorry.
It stinks. Yeah. No, I was gonna say I'd like to know the procedure because Neil said something about color plates or four color everything is digital now too, so let's close your ears, hungry boy. But I just can't imagine that happening. Now he's saying it happened. I'm not saying it can't, but I just like to see it.
Right.
I just want to see an example of how that would happen, because that's a crazy process then where in you're reprinting a book, you should have an editor that goes through the book and, oh, here's the scan, let's check it. Now that's kind of an obscure text the way it's in that sun there, and it's it's not written really.
Yes, it looks weird. And who wouldn't catch this, by the way? Twice, dude, twice. Nothing else in the book is screwed up, but this, how do they not catch it for a trade? Or
yeah, I mean, stuff gets through, and I do a lot of full disclosure, I do a ton of desktop publishing for work and
look how big
Photoshop,
that
and I miss Hungry Boy's putting clams in his ears. That's good. Yep. And then but the thing is that when you're proofreading stuff, sometimes you miss things because it's in your mind over and over. Like I've done some magazines and books and things, and how the heck did I miss that? So I mean, yeah, that can happen, but something like that's kind of major. And also I just want to know, what that exact
bots were gone for months and now they're back. Why are bots back?
Because Elon's gonna buy Twitter now, maybe. I don't know. But I'd like to see what that process. I just because I know with color separations, you separate the colors out when you're doing 4-color printing, but it just seems kind of wonky. It seems like a wonky explanation to me. Not saying it can't happen, but it just seems kind of strange. It just seems strange to me.
It seems odd to me too. I am very capable of believing that it was a mistake, just as I'm also equally capable of believing that some numbnuts at DC didn't like that God was talking. Now, one of the things someone said to me, by the way, in my early thread about this on Twitter was, well, if they didn't want God mentioned, then they would have to go to the Ostrander Tom Mandrake run and cut all these. They talked about God all through that thing. Well, I know they did. Tobar the robot. Hey. Sorry about my Gen Z relatives. Good to see you, Tobar. Good to see you. So, and I said, well, I can't speak to that. I don't know what's in that or not. I don't know if that's been done in there. That doesn't mean that this wasn't done. I mean, in other words, I hear what you're saying, but are you saying that they've reprinted those and it was left in there? I don't know. I mean, is that what you're saying? Because I don't know. I didn't read any of the reprints of those. I didn't read that run very long. So you're saying that the Ostrander Mandrake run has lots of mentions of God in the Spectre run that it did, and which is true. And you're saying that somehow it has nothing to do with this here at all, because he's saying if this if we were right, if this were done because someone didn't like a mention of God, then they would go through there and take them all out of that one. Well, I don't know that that's true. When were those reprinted? Those things haven't been reprinted. If they ever reprinted the Mandrake run and then the Ostrander run, it's been forever, ages since they reprinted that, if they did it at all. So that has nothing to do with this. I'm not dissing Mandrake, Hungry Boy. I know you're a fan, and I have nothing against Tom Mandrake. He's not my favorite or anything, but he's fine. So you see what I'm saying, though?
Yep.
That the two are not mutually exclusive. There's nothing, just because it may or may not have happened here. And again, I'm not saying it did. I'm saying sure kind of seems like it's possible. It is fishy, but that doesn't have anything to do with the Ostrander Mandrake reprints, if they did any. And I don't know if they did any. And if they did, it could have been decades ago.
Yeah, so just to read Neil's statement on this, which got 722 likes. The good thing about it, too, is he didn't answer you directly in your tweets. It was that loaf person, unhelpful NPC. I love that name. Why isn't this exactly the same? And he tagged Neil. So that didn't blow up your feed directly, thankfully, I guess. Too.
Yeah, that's why I didn't. And that's another reason why I didn't tag J-Man, because I didn't want him to get splattered. But I didn't think that this was going to happen, mind you.
But Neil was actually didn't tag you in the tweet, thankfully, either. So that was a very professional way to do it too. So, yeah, so they just he copied it and he answered this person. He said, because they scanned and tweaked the black plate, recolored it, and failed to notice there was lettering done as an overlay on the blue plate. It happened several times where we were doing the recoloring on Sandman. It's a fairly usual goof. And there's no hidden meaning behind it. So I guess
that's possible.
So when they, I guess they're doing the color separation.
Yes, yes, Steve. He did do that with the Phantom Stranger. Go ahead, sorry.
No, sorry. And then I guess they neutralized the blue plate. I guess. I mean, I just love to see that process, how it goes physically.
What I'm saying,
that's
though,
his explanation. Yeah.
Thing is, unless he talks to somebody, and why would he? And they told Neil Gaiman firsthand, yes, that's what happened. Neil, we messed up. This is how. Just because it happened on those Sandman reprints, does that mean he's wrong? No, but he's being anecdotal unless he has talked about it. So just as my theory was off the cuff and not based on any kind of information other than what we're seeing, his was still, I mean, it's a good explanation. It's a possibility, okay? Mine was theory and conjecture. Yeah. His was anecdotal opinion, right? Unless he knows. Now, he might know. He might have been there when they did this. Somebody might have called Neil the day this was done and said, oh, you won't believe what we did to this Spectre story. We left out God talking. Hungry Boy says, sorry, no, Neil is making excuses. Probably is.
But one other person replied, the days of CMYK printing and color separations, physical color proofs, so unwieldy, hard to explain to folks who've only had to deal with digital proofs as well. So that's where I'm like, you're telling me they did this was a physical CMYK color separation on a scan, unless, like you said, this was done in the reprinted in the.
No, it was reprinted fairly recently.
Yeah, so that's why I'm only confused that if you were doing this digitally, how that could actually happen with today's tech.
There's a missing piece of the puzzle here, though. See, I have this, and that's all. We have the digitals now, and of course, a digital scan of the original comic. And Claude showed me a picture. He took a picture. He has the actual physical comic. He took me a picture today. So what we don't have yet is someone who has those reprints, the 3 or so reprints that Brian told us about, right?
Yeah, that'd be really interesting to see.
I would have to see those. So I'm sure I have a friend that has at least one of the 2 of those collections. Ironhide 84, good to see you. That, and I will look into it. I'm going to ask a couple of friends of mine if they have it and ask them to look for it and to see if that's the case. Because if it's not, that means it's only digital did this. We don't know, and Neil doesn't know, unless I'm assuming Neil doesn't know if this has happened to the physical copies, the physical reprints.
Yeah.
Hunger Boy says, this is Neil whom said in 2010 that comics always cost the same Ink and pencils and paper always cost the same after artist uses expensive paints for him. Yeah, he's well. No one. He doesn't. I don't know if he's known for his business acumen.
Yeah.
Mr. Gaiman. Again, I'm not insulting Neil Gaiman. Look, this show is not insulting Neil Gaiman. Many fans are, and I keep apologizing if it's Gaiman or Gaiman. I don't know. I'm not. I don't mean to get it wrong on purpose.
Gaiman. I think I've heard him say his name. I'm pretty sure.
That's cool. Again, I have nothing against him. I know people. I mean, obviously, I know he and I don't agree on a lot of things that he says in public and stuff. I'm not. I haven't.
I like Sandman. If he's listening, I like Sandman a lot more than Clobberin Times did.
You like Sandman, and I have nothing against any of his work. I respect his work, and all that kind of stuff. I really liked what he did with on that Steve Ditko documentary. I've heard from people who know him, and this is anecdotal as well, that he's a nice guy, that he's cool with people. So I have nothing against him. I'm not trashing him. Hungry Boy's not trashing him either. He's just criticizing him a little bit.
Did you like his Doctor Who episode?
I liked this first one. I liked the Doctor's Wife. I didn't like that. I believe it was a Nightmare in Silver or something that he did. I didn't like that one too much.
The Doctor's Wife, yeah, with the TARDIS.
Doctor's Wife was kind of fun.
Yeah, with the TARDIS comes alive.
Yeah, good writer. So I have nothing against him, and I'm not saying he's wrong either. I'm saying unless he checked on it and vetted this, he's giving an opinion based on anecdotes. Whereas I'm not even doing that. I'm just giving a silly theory based upon things we kind of know about what's going on.
Yeah.
With pop culture, and also just kind of goofing off saying DC doesn't want to endorse a belief in God. It's just it's a little tongue in cheek. We did our knee jerk reaction the other night when we were seeing it for the first time. J-Man and I, then later when you and I talked about it, was like, wow, they're censoring God from this comic. Again, we didn't know. We're just kind of goofing off. Who knows? I don't know. It does seem fishy though. So the next step, everyone, and I will pursue this. I don't have a copy any of those reprints. I didn't even think it had been reprinted, but we'll find out that it's been reprinted. So now we know it could have been scanned from those reprints.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see those. Yeah.
I don't know how by the way, I do not know how it works as far as DC app or Comixology scanning comic books. I don't know where they get them from. I'm sure they scan from the nicest, cleanest copies. And that one I saw on the app is a very cleaned up. In fact, I don't like the way it looks. I like the way J-Man and I were talking about this. I kind of like the way it looks on the normal scan of the original comic on that online thing.
A little fuzzy.
On that
kind of news printing.
But there's pretty good scan for considering. The one I like the scan of the original comic better than I like the scan of the reprint. I think the colors are a little garish. I mean, I think it's a little. I know it's cleaned up, and I like some of those cleaned up scans sometimes. But on this one, I kind of like the older, just the normal scan of the comic on that site that I found that I showed the other day when we were reviewing the actual comic book. So again, that's just neither here nor there. But hey, look, until I see. Yeah, I didn't like his Cybermen when the Cybermen when the Nightmare in Silver. Hungry Boy, I did not like that episode much. No offense to Neil Gaiman. Yeah, I'm talking like he's listening. He would never listen.
Yeah, he's here right now in the chat.
Hey, Neil, if you listen there, dude, hey, man.
Cool. Come on with us. We'd love to talk to you. I'd love to talk to you about Sandman. Yeah, what a cool. I mean, I really got sucked in by that comic when it came out. Plus, it made me feel really intelligent reading that comic book because that was the highfalutin comic back then, right? I'm joking, but yeah. I read Sandman. What are you reading? Superman?
Iron Knight says, how do you feel about DC cleaning up and digitizing Neil Adams' work on a lot of reprints? Hey, Claude Sowling is here. Good to see you. I'll tell you one thing. I've got back in the I think it was either late 90s, early 2000s, Ironhide. I bought the big slipcase 2 hardcover volume of the Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Neil Adams Hard Traveling Heroes reprint. And it is atrocious. I hate what they did with it. I absolutely it looked like garbage. It makes me. I have it up on my shelf now. I barely touched it after I first bought it, and I couldn't wait to get it. And it looks like dog crap. It's horrible. So I don't like the way. And again, quote unquote cleaning up or digitizing. Now I know about digitizing. I haven't seen I don't think I've seen the ones you're talking about digitized online that I know of. But if it looks anything like that, some of those reprints, or at least that one I'm telling you about, that was horrible.
Yeah, I mean,
The old Muslim
I don't.
uncle says I should do this story and how it go sell, but Steve Mitchum would not like that. So I am sorry, my friend. I can't do it. So good.
I was gonna say I don't mind cleaning up. It's like I was joking, like as you start to get bald, like I would do Photoshop pictures, and my brother like, can you get rid of my bald spot? I'm like, where's my $5? You know, in Photoshop it's super easy, but cleaning like any scan artifacts and cleaning up, dots and things that shouldn't be there. Folded page. There's a difference between restoration and redoing or changing the coloring
and inked.
Yeah, that's because the books actually look different too, and because the change in the paper and the paper change, just the quality of the paper changes the color and the refraction of the light. So the colors are different. So in and of itself, it's always going to look different. But I don't mind anything that's quote unquote cleaned up in terms of dots or we see some of those scans and some of those online comics where they're it's all muddy, and some of them look perfect. Yeah.
He's not fucking digital though. He's talking about digitally recolored and inked. Yes, so that is what we're talking about. What I've seen of it, and he did a Batman two hardcover slipcase as well. I believe Ironhide, and I think they look terrible. They look garish. Those look awful to me. I've seen, and then they're Marvel's Masterworks used to do a pretty good job of recoloring stuff. I liked it. I love my Marvel Masterworks, and I love the DC Archives. But there was a Marvel Masterworks that did piss me off.
Which one?
The first time, and maybe, I don't know if they did it in later printings or not, but when they reprinted The Coming of Galactus, when they reprinted Fantastic Four 48 and 49 and 50.
Oh, they recolored Galactus's legs.
They put pants on him and sleeves.
Yeah, but now was that what I've read that it was a coloring accident originally by and then I've read it that was I've read the other.
But it still wasn't the way it was, though.
Yeah, so, but what do you do with something like that where it's the Hulk getting printed the wrong color as gray, right? Which I love the gray Hulk. So what you would think you shouldn't change. See, I don't know.
They shouldn't have changed that. Just leave it alone, and because he didn't. It's not like they changed it in the comic later, but when they reprint it in the Masterworks, leave it the frickin' crap alone. Just do it, clean it up all you want, but don't give him sleeves. I was so aggravated with that. When I came out, I got
pants. Well, they give him pants.
Pants. See, I don't care if it looks bad.
In between them, but same always. Engineers love to change things. So if it's a mistake where it's the artist,
it wasn't a mistake. Jack drew him that way.
No, but he drew. But then he wanted him to be colored though. There, right? Those. I wouldn't change. Well, I would ask Jack.
I don't know. Well, let's ask Jack.
We can't. No, but that's what that's what you ask the art. Like if Kirby had said, hey, this is the way it was supposed to be printed. I don't mind them reprint. Yeah, I
don't remember him saying that. Maybe he did.
No, I don't know either. But that's just conjecture. But I know I'm kind of a perfectionist, so that kind of stuff. You're asking someone with like digital OCD. So if I had a mistake
or do that, it's graffiti.
I know, but like I've done. Well, I'm just comparing like a program book or photographs or like a book that's supposed to go out, and if I engineers change the Clobberin, LOL, and if I have a mistake that goes out there, but I guess it's not something that's it's nowhere comparing that to like who parents the Galactus, but I would want to change it for future printings because
not me.
It's the name is if a name is misspelled or something like that, like an error versus.
No,
I don't know. Maybe my HasLab Galactus will come without sleeves then. If I did order that,
I hope so. Ironhide said, in a collection of all the Denny O'Neil written Ra's al Ghul stories, all of them, the majority being Neil Adams drawn, were all remastered. Same for the first Batman Bat story, other collection. Yes, I don't remember seeing that one or looking at it, but the one I have, the Green Lantern Green Arrow one, was digitally remastered, like you're talking about, and it was horrid in my opinion. It pissed me off. I still have it and I never even look at it.
Was that bad, right? Yep.
It just looked nasty to me.
Yeah.
It's just like sometimes when I would walk, God bless him, I love Neil Adams. sometimes I would walk by his table at some of the cons, and I can't really afford all these. He's got, I mean, his tables. He had like 20 tables. Sometimes it seemed like, I mean, stretched way out into the distance.
He
You've
was
probably seen that.
popular. Is popular.
And he had
too,
a bunch of his great. He got a bunch of his prints. Like some of them were like you could buy these prints, which weren't cheap, but I could have probably gotten one of them. Almost every one of them had been recolored and re-inked to look ugly.
And he just hated it, right? Yeah.
I just look. I go, man, I would love to get this, but he looks ugly like this. When someone went over it, I don't know if it was his son or whatever, and inked the shit out of it.
They're trying to improve it, right?
I'm
going to fix it, yeah.
Right, to a degree that I couldn't buy any of them.
That bad, yeah.
I was going to buy. I was looking. There's got to be a decent one here, and he would. I mean, Jesus Christ! I was like, anything that he had that I would have gotten was too expensive for me.
Yeah.
And I never really got to buy anything from his table that much. I already had some stuff, and I go talk to him. I think I talked to him a couple of times, and I'd seen him a couple of times, and seen him a bunch of cons. And like I say, all these prints were just. I'm going, why? Oh my God! Why did you do this to this thing?
But we're improving it.
No, it's just nasty now.
Yeah. Well, the thing is too with computers. I don't know if that was done digitally, but it's really easy to muck around with stuff, and you don't have to be that talented. So you can be just dangerous enough to know kind of what you're doing and bad enough to wreck things. So, it's easy to get in Photoshop and try to screw around and think you know what you're doing. And I always mention my friend Chris is an artist who does, all his work with brushes and pencils, but he does do digital, but he'll do his drawing first completely. He loves physical medium. And then sometimes he'll translate to the digital to do, effects or put something on the painting or do like a background or then he's publishing it too online too. So if he's putting the stuff online, you got to scan it in. So once in a while do some tweaks, but he's also pretty skilled with the digital, but he knows what he's doing. So he's got, a master's degree in art and he's trained. And so he's not some hack. I mean, but you look at some of these digital covers they're obviously doing now and digital art and so many of the comic books, the art is just shite. I mean, it's just some of the books I was looking at some of the previews and
terrible.
The art was, I think it was Nightwing. There was a Nightwing book that was out this month. Everyone was making fun of, and the art was just so horrendous. It was like, a 2-year-old did it practically. So it was just unbelievably bad.
A lot of these guys have less excuse. For example, when I was a kid and looking at some of the art in the 70s and the 80s, as a kid, when I would see some cruddy art, I'm not gonna say Don Perlin and be mean like Hungry Boy would. Oh, I did already. Sorry. When I would see some of later Carmen Infantino or later Don Heck or Frank Robbins, or I'm not gonna say George Tuscany, but I promise I already did. Sorry.
Won't say it yet.
When I see some art that I thought, especially Frank Robbins, Jesus Christ. I didn't know what I know about comic history, what I knew later. I didn't know that was art being done by a guy who'd been through the comic book system, in terms of since the golden age in many cases, had been working his ass off in the sweatshops and barely making ends meet, drawing comics, doing the only thing he really wanted to do and know how to do. Tusk is off limits, D-Bud. No Tusk, I promise. I didn't know that this, when I was as a 14-year-old, 13-year-old, 12, 15, 16, wherever I happened to be at the time, buying, like I would buy a beautiful Perez cover Justice League with Don Heck inside. Not Don Heck from the 60s with some of his nice Avengers work, mind you. Yeah. Don Heck, where this, wow, good Lord. But when that would happen and I would trash Don Heck, or when I would make Carmen Infantino, not as great Flash work in the 60s and 70s, or the 60s, in the 50s, 60s work on Adam Strange or his Batman stuff. No, his stuff in the late 70s, like on Star Wars and Nova and Flash, his later Return to Flash, I would say, in the 90s. Dial H for Hero is stuff which I really, when I was complaining about that as a kid and saying how horrible it was, and Frank Robbins on Invaders, my God, for the love of God, you get a Kirby cover or a Gil Kane cover, then you open it up and it's Frank Robbins and Frank Springer inking him. I didn't know these guys were old and lucky to get a job.
They're giving him work, basically, right? Yeah.
I had no idea. But they were old, a lot of them, and they could barely draw their hands. I mean, they've been doing this for so long. Whereas now, what excuse do the stuff you're just talking about? These people who do this on computers that are in their 20s, you don't have any old geezers working on comics anymore. Those people are in their 20s, if that, maybe a couple in their 30s, and they're drawing on computers, and they look like shit. What's their excuse? Okay. If they have hard times trying to raise a family and provide for families and busting their ass doing all this work because they needed it? Like Don Perlin, same deal with even Don Perlin there, Hungry Boy.
Yep.
No. They're children, and they just draw their crap on computers, and none of them know anything about the masters or any of the great old artists. None of them studied the masters like you should when you want to be you should study the people who are best at it when you want to be in that field. None of them went to the Joe Kubert School of Cartooning, I don't think. Well, none of these new ones did anyway. So I now go back when I look at some of that stuff and that I thought was awful. Some of it looks a little bit better to me now when I'm older, but also even when it doesn't. Even when I like Dick Dillon, but you could tell he rushed the job, and Frank McLaughlin couldn't ink. I didn't know. But what I know now is those guys were older. They were, going through tough times, and I can kind of understand it. Bless their hearts indeed. I mean, they were just, they were working. This is not that now.
It's a job, yeah. It was a job, yeah.
Now these are kids doing it, and they can't draw. And they're doing it with they're drawing. They're using computers.
Yeah, they just have no sense of style, of how to do a panel. Their panel, that's one of the worst things, I think. It's just how bad their panel work is, and how to tell a story.
Cartoonists.
Yeah, to tell a story and how the panels flow. I was talking to my buddy Tony DePretta's son, who worked in comics and did but he came up through the golden age and did Joe Palooka. I was telling my buddy, I'm like, do you have any? And I've told this story a few times, I think, but he had when he was getting much older, obviously he was having trouble, seeing, unfortunately, and writing. But I found a bunch of comics for my buddy to have his dad sign and give to his grandkids as gifts. So I found, a bunch of his Marvel stuff. He worked on a lot of Airboy stuff, and he did something on Namor, but mostly he was, strip work. Right. But he was in the bullpen in New York, and and then he was telling me he got his dad brought him back. He met Stan Lee, and I'm like, "Did you meet Jack Kirby?" And he's like, "I can't remember if I met Jack Kirby." He's like, Stan Lee signed a business card for him.
Jack
did a Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and he'd signed the Spider-Man logo for him. But I'm like, "Do you have any of the old any of this?" I was looking up some of the comics. I mean, they were worth so much money. He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I don't really think I have anything." But he was telling me he had his dad did work on Charlton Comics for like 3 or 4 years. So they sent you everything. Like, you're an artist. He got every issue of those comics for like 4 or 5 years, and he still has those comics. So I got to ask him what years those are. And he's like, and he's got them up in the attic. I'm like, Rich, you shouldn't have those comics in the attic, although the attics back here aren't as bad. And it's I'm like, you probably should bring those down out of the attic. But I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember what years. But he's like, yeah, it was so cool because Dad would, every month you get a box with like every comic that the publisher published for free.
Oliver Belamonte, nice. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
Yeah,
good to see you there. So Oliver has something to say to us here.
Sure.
He says, Clobby, I somewhat don't understand the possible appearance of Dr. Doom in Black Panther 2, despite Doom is the main arch nemesis of the F4, so the FF. So I don't know. Is he in it? I don't even I haven't heard that he's in it. I'm so dreading that thing. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna get sucked into seeing it. Is he in that?
Oh, did that just leak now?
Is that Oliver? Is that something that's happening? I don't. Wouldn't I mean? I don't doubt you, but wouldn't put it past him. To have him make his appearance in their crappy Marvel MCU universe before the FF, that would figure. So they might show him for a second. He says possible appearance, possible. He says possible. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, anything's possible. It could be in there, but yeah, he says he doesn't understand why he would have it. I think he means basically why would they do that before because they're idiots. They don't know anything. They're just silly. But don't put it past them there either, Oliver. They probably will do it, something silly like that. And you kind of.
Well, I mean, would Doom exist already in the world in Latvia as the head? I mean, how do you explain Doom not being there? Like all the yeah, we just suddenly appear as the ruler of a country. Yeah, or they bring him out of the past or something with time travel? I wonder.
I don't know. No, they're not going to look. That's why
they should hire.
Sure
they should hire you, but they should hire you. But
they should. Won't. But you do know that tonight they're teasing. Did you see the scene, the Daredevil scene?
No, I did not.
She-Hulk obviously comes on at 3 a.m. your time, 2 a.m. my time.
That's right. You told me you were staying up.
Somebody released.
Did I say Latvia instead of Latveria? Yeah. Well,
okay. Phantom Outsider.
I got stream brain. Yeah.
This is what Phantom Outsider gets for correcting you.
Your agonizer, please.
No, Mr. Spock.
Yeah.
Phantom Outsider, stop correcting him. Anyway. So. Anyway, yeah, they Entertainment Tonight or something leaked like a scene that is as Daredevil. It's still they didn't. It doesn't say what episode. It's probably still not this one, but the last one. But I don't know. It was pretty silly.
Yeah,
him with the yellow helmet. And
well,
stuff,
the thing is,
if
the She-Hulk series was fun and nailed the comedy. If it wasn't
a bad show, I wouldn't mind if
you wouldn't mind. Like that. Tell a couple of offbeat tales. It's
such a terrible show.
Like Irving Forbush destroyed the Marvel Universe. That kind of fun stuff where you do that.
I hear Irving Forbush is going to be in an episode. Actually.
Oh, cool. Maybe they can destroy the She-Hulk. Yeah.
Irving Forbush episodes coming up. Yeah. But those idiots would know who that is.
Yeah. But those kind of things, when you do it right, it can be, fun. And as my favorite radio host used to say, God rest his soul, in good comedy, there's always a grain of truth is why it works. So I think like one of the funniest things they had on Saturday Night Live, which in years, because in my opinion hasn't been funny in years, but when Matt Damon did that Christmas skit with the in-laws coming over and all the nightmare that Christmas is. I don't know if you guys have seen that one, but I was dying hysterical because it was based in truth. It's like, the dad trying to put together all the complicated toys the night before and everything is falling apart. And I've done that. We're like stayed up till like 4 a.m. trying to put together a train set. And you're like at the end, you're like, but that's why. But She-Hulk has. He's not correct. I'm trying to keep him safe. Yeah, Doom. Yeah, Doom would get after me. Yeah, for
that's true.
Annihilate.
You don't want to get him in trouble or anything. Yeah.
Thank you, Phantom. Yep.
Wait a minute, Saturday Night Live. I'm pretty sure they haven't made that since 1982 or 3, right?
Yeah, but this Matt Damon skit was. This was a funny. The Christmas one was. My God, I finally laughed at Saturday Night Live and first time in years. So someone had posted it on the Twitters or somewhere. Like this is a damn good skit. So but She-Hulk, I think I've kind of snickered a couple times at most.
The only laughing I did was how unbelievably bad the show is.
Maybe when Titania's teeth got knocked out, maybe I think I did kind of laugh at that one. That was just when your face hit the deck. I
laughed. Yeah, I laughed when I think I did start laughing when I saw that. Oh God, they're actually going to sit around this and have this little. They think, and I'm laughing at these people.
There,
they think this is funny to have them sit around this table talking to these weird-looking versions of these D-list villains.
Oh yeah,
When Abomination, Tim Roth was giving that session, I was going, I can't believe they're really going to do this. I can't.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've heard someone say, "Oh no, it's all gonna." I forgot who it was. They're on a stream, just kind of musing because I don't think they know that. Oh, you'll know this is all part of the big plan. That Abomination. They lured him out. They lured her out there. They got something going on. They're all plotting against her. They're all in on it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if that would at least be villainy, but I don't think so. These people, I think they just think it was funny to have these villains be even more pathetic. They might be in on it. I don't think they're in on it.
Yeah, I think maybe they could be going
Rucker
for
was there, so they might be. But who cares? It's like,
they're going for that the vibe, like this Tick vibe, which the Tick is one of my all-time favorite TV shows, the cartoon and Fox live action, which is phenomenal.
I love the cartoon.
I got to rewatch that again. Yeah, the cartoon's great, and but that you're laughing the whole damn time you're watching that show.
This would you like? I'll give it this. It didn't put me to sleep like Andor. I didn't even bother watching the 5th episode of Andor. I decided I don't need. I mean, look, I was able to get to sleep without it, but if I'd been awake, I might have tried it so I could get to sleep.
R&B keeps saying Andor is a masterclass in storytelling.
It's okay.
I haven't watched it. Full disclosure, I haven't watched it.
Is he drinking 50 Red Bulls before he watches it? Because look, the show was very well made. It looks good. I mean, it doesn't look cheap like some of the Obi-Wan garbage Kenobi or was it Boba Fett? Like, it doesn't look cheap like that. So it looks, well produced and all that kind of stuff. But it is whale shit boring. I mean, it is like, wow, dude, come on.
Yeah.
For me again, and by the way, I saw him. Someone on his Facebook page had said that Andor was boring and R&B. Look, R&B, I like R&B and everything, but this is kind of childish. He says, anytime anyone uses the word boring while reviewing anything or critiquing something, they lose all credibility with me. I don't see why that. Can't see why you'd say that.
Well, I think you can say something's boring and explain to something, and then
you
explain
should get
why
more
it's boring
criticism than that. But if you start out with "Good God, it's boring," sorry, but it's boring. It is boring.
Yeah.
If that's all you got to say, yes, sure. But if that's part of what you're saying, and that's part of almost every critique of it you hear, it's like, it just doesn't go anywhere. I'm sorry. It has no Star Wars feel to it whatsoever. None. Zero. I mean, even if you like it, you can't. Can you tell me there's anything Star Wars about it? Again, but whatever. Look,
I've only seen that.
I've only seen
that first issue.
Episode.
First episode. I'm looking at issues as I'm doing two things at once.
You got issues tonight?
Well, no, I was just looking at. I was printing a list of looking for Tony DePrett, and actually, because I want to send this to my friend. I was just talking to him. He actually did some art in Journey into Mystery #1. Wow. So yeah,
some of those before, yeah.
Brian, sorry, I'm bad segue, but yeah, no, but if something's boring, I hate a review where someone says, "Oh, I hate that, it's horrible," and no reason, no explanation, but so that makes sense too.
Is a critique too, though. In other words, if you just say something's bad and it sucks and that's all you got, no, you're not doing anything important.
Perfectly.
But if you say it's boring, then you have to go further and give a little bit more reason and context for sure. But Brian says, I like Andor so far, but I watch a lot of old noir that is really slow too, but can see why others might find it boring. Look, there are a lot of things I love, Brian, that I think that I would classify as slow. A lot of movies, TV shows, and I don't mind it. I think sometimes I'm glad some things are slow. Something under the auspices of Star Wars, however, I don't think you need to be draggy. I don't think you need to take Star Wars in a direction that's kind of not fun or exciting. Even in bad Star Wars, they're at least moving around. It's kinetic. It's action packed. It's not supposed to be deep science fiction. And that's what this really isn't. This is more like political stuff. And I've not seen the 5th episode, but one person I saw one person talk about it saying, and this person liked some of the really bad stuff, but was saying it was terrible, had a bunch of woke stuff in it, but I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I haven't seen the 5th episode yet. But so Brian, hey, look, no problem. Look, that's cool. And I'm glad you like it. And again, I don't even have anything against it. It's well made. I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'll give it the next one more episode. Phantom says, and or it's very Star Wars, Clobberin Times, as its glacial pace is very reminiscent of Hoth, and Hoth is was very Star Wars. I'm obviously goofing on it. Yes.
Well, I mean, slow can work too. I mean, there's
Slow's
certain
fine
movies
in
that
a lot of stuff. But
it
Star
depends
Wars,
on the. Of course, like if you tried to watch, I don't want to pick on young people too much, but like, I wonder if Alfred Hitchcock, say like The Rope. It's a movie filmed in one room, brilliant movie, love it. But would that hold an audience today, or Lifeboat? Obviously, Psycho's got more action, but even that is probably a
it would
relatively
have a tough time.
right. I mean, but
Yeah, it
you
would have a
sit down
tough
and
time.
sit down, or one of my favorite all time movies is The Trouble with Harry. Love The Trouble with Harry.
Yeah.
And Shirley MacLaine. I think that's her first. Movie, and maybe. But great movie if you haven't watched it, and love the double entendres in it. She's a well preserved woman. Just that there's some toxic lines in that movie. But could you say it was too
Outer Limits is too slow?
too
Well,
slow?
yeah, I mean,
I
that's
love
ridiculous.
Outer Limits.
But I love Outer Limits.
Yeah,
yeah. No, but I see what Brian's saying. Brian's fine with it being that way. He says I find it different in a better way than what the other shows have done with the cheese balls. Yeah, a lot of background and exposition. Yes, it's a lot of that. I hear you. So no.
Yeah, and as Phantom says, there's got to be a payoff too. Yeah, Magic 8 Ball says ask again later. So if you don't get that good payoff, that slow burn doesn't doesn't work, right?
Maybe it will. I mean, Clobby, a rumor says Oliver Barrelmite says Clobby, a rumor says the late actor William Hurt gone. They said Harrison Ford was asked to be Marvel to play General Thaddeus Ross for Thunderbolts TV show. That I will believe when I see. I wouldn't doubt that he's been asked, but there's no way Harrison Ford's going to do a TV show unless it's an appearance for like in 2 episodes for 5 seconds for a lot of money. That I would believe.
God, the Thunderbolts.
Thunderbolts is going to be bad.
Oh my God, the new Thunderbolts comic. I just looking at the cover, and Thunderbolts is one of my favorite, quote unquote, modern comics, or I would say, yeah, just love the Thunderbolts, and their first year of the Thunderbolts. I thought it's an all-time classic.
That's going to be bad.
And I was looking at the cover of the new comic. I mean, Hawkeye looks like crap. The whole team looks like crap. It's different characters. Yep.
That's going to be terrible. Get ready. It's not going to be anything like the damn comic that you loved. Don't even.
It's going to be bad. Yeah. Hungry Boy says, if you can't enjoy rope till the end, you ate lead paint chips as a toddler. I don't know. Is that why I'm fat?
What's that? If you can't enjoy what now?
If you can't enjoy rope till the end, you ate lead paint chips as a toddler.
Wait a minute. You saying I shouldn't have eaten those lead paint chips? Well, now you tell me.
It?
Wow, damn. Look, in my defense, Hungry Boy, those lead chips tasted really good. Just saying.
Right?
So, yeah. Remember Ross becomes Red Hulk and you see Harrison Ford? Yeah, no.
Oh, God.
No, look, if they throw a bunch of money at him, he'll probably appear for like 5 minutes in 2 or 3 episodes. But even that, I'm skeptical. Him on television? Well, it's not even television. They're not even TV shows anymore. Now they're app shows. They're not TV shows. Well, they're on a TV, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Yeah. I've heard that too, that they're going to try to ask him, and they probably will if they haven't already. I can't see him doing. I can see him going. No, I don't feel like it. Never mind. No, you know how he is.
Yeah.
If he does, I'm like, whatever. Do we really need Thunderbolt Ross? See, they could recast Thunderbolt Ross, but they won't recast T'Challa. By the way,
yeah, God, please recast T'Challa as much as I love
recast
Chadwick Boseman, or in a few years, hopefully they will.
A few years, but this movie is going to be all about. Oh my God, Shuri running around in that costume for the whole time.
And she's so skinny. She's so skinny.
And Namor looks terrible.
And Panther doesn't have superpowers too, so a lot of his powers
They
are the
gave him kind of
strength.
weird powers.
In the MCU they do,
In the
but it's
movie,
more the suit
he
with the
has this weird,
vibranium,
stupid powers. Yeah.
and he's the ultimate athlete. He's like Captain America, basically, in a
This
lot
could
of
be
ways.
Dora Milaje is going to be doing a lot of the ass kicking here. Let's face it.
Yeah.
And it's going to be about a war. It's so uninteresting looking. I mean, look, I know you can see it. Yeah, whatever, man. The trailer looks dull, but dull. I'm sorry, RMB. I said dull. I said boring. Okay, it looks like shit. How about that? Does that work for you? Looks like dog crap. And I'm going to get forced to go see that, so I may as well review it. I know you're going because you're just as ridiculous.
I don't know. I don't even want to see. Actually, I almost don't want to see Ezra.
Hey, you're going, dude. Aren't you? You always go. I don't want to go.
I'm going to go, but for the popcorn.
You're saying, I know it. Don't say you're not. Then you can look at that, everyone. You're going.
Yeah. If I have a buddy, we would go to every Marvel. We've been to every Marvel movie.
My excuse too.
We haven't missed. Well, we didn't go to. I don't know if you count Morbius as a Marvel movie, so we didn't go see Morbius.
No one does.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't go see Turtles. Oh no, we did go see Turtles together.
Oh.
Yeah,
I sat through that. That's the one I have the same deal. My friend says like 2010. We've gone almost all of the Marvel movies. Actually, for some reason, I didn't bring him to see Turtles. I didn't subject him to that. I saw it myself. I just couldn't. I didn't want to. I don't know what it was, but so after Love and Blunder, this year we've seen Batman. I know it's not a Marvel movie. We see other superhero movies as well sometimes, and Doctor Strange, 2 Electric Boogaloo, and then Love and Blunder, which was horrible. I don't freaking want to go to see.
Yeah, no.
I don't. And look. He's. I really don't want to. I'm not going to go see Black Adam. I'm putting my foot down on that one. I can't. But since this is a Marvel movie, oh God, he said he's going. And he's balking at the 2:40 something running time. Because he can't sit in the theater that long. Like, if you hear me out there, buddy, he's saying,
that's a lot. Oh, he's worried about that.
Yeah, because it's not an easy sit for him. He's got
some health concerns, unfortunately. Yeah.
But I said when he posted that, like on Facebook, he was talking about that and being concerned about. So I said, "Well, dude, are you going?" He said, "I'm going. I have to." No, you don't have to do anything. Let me tell you something in this world, folks. When it comes to Marvel movies, I'm just going to say this. There's an old saying. You don't have to do anything but die and pay taxes. That's it. You don't have to do anything but die and pay taxes. So, and you can get away with not doing one of those. I'm not sure which one it is, though. So, but you don't have to do it. Don't say you have. You and I are both guilty of that kind of crap. Saying
we
have to.
God, I gotta go.
So you're going here. You were actually almost had me going.
I don't really want to go, but I'm saying I almost don't feel like going. My buddy's probably going to be. Well, I'll see. If he doesn't want to go, I won't go. But if he wants to go, usually we just go. It's a night out, and you hang out with your butt. I'm going to make sure I buy plenty of peanut butter M&Ms and throw that in my popcorn pail.
Lemon pie. I've never seen lemon pie here before, but now I want lemon pie. But hello, lemon pie.
Is that a Hostess lemon pie? Hell.
Is it a Hostess lemon pie? I would love to be a Hostess. Yeah, I love those.
Yeah.
So, welcome, lemon pie. It's good to see you. We like when new people pop in. So, I'm like I said, this is one. I don't think I've dreaded going to one more than this. I dreaded going to Love and Thunder. Because of what was going on in theaters at the time, I didn't see Black Widow or Shang-Chi. At the theaters, luckily.
Shang-Chi was my first time back in the theater.
That was one I did skip.
After the atrocity that was called Star Wars in name only. And like Ironheart is 84 saying, I don't know if anyone even considers Morbius to be a movie. So
no.
I'm not hooked for that, yeah.
Said can be a Hostess fruit pie. Well, that's good to know.
There we go.
Hostess fruit pie.
Classic.
And again, thank you for being here, Lemon Pie. We like when new people pop in. So, I don't think I've dreaded going, except maybe Eternals was the thing I dreaded the most.
Love and Thunder, I was not looking forward to.
I was not looking forward to Love and Thunder. I wasn't really put out by having to go see Doc Strange. I was fine going because I liked the first movie. I thought maybe it would be okay, but
yeah,
I'm glad that I avoided Shang-Chi. That was one I just couldn't do. I said no, it looks so horrible, because I think somebody that I won't mention let me see
I don't know who that would
a
be.
copy that I couldn't really tell what was happening.
But we're going to Lorena. We're going on Lorena's show.
Yeah, we went on Lorena's show, so I had to watch
Talk about it.
a lesser type of a copy, let's say, and I can barely see
a recolored one.
But then later I got a copy. You hear anything in the background there?
I'm hearing like a whistling or something.
Hang on a second. If you would take the con.
Is that a tea kettle? Yeah,
No.
I'll take the con. Yep. I'm in charge now. Alan Moraine. Or wait, I don't have the controls, so I can't play anything. I can't play Alan Moraine, but maybe maybe he'll give me the power someday if I'm worthy. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully everything is okay at the captain's house. Yep. But yeah, I mean, you guys have heard my review on Shang-Chi, and yeah, it's Shang-Chi in name only, but I did love the bus scene, and parts of it I did enjoy, and I did like what they did with the Mandarin with some of the jokes in there, but yeah, it went way too fantasy at the end, and the guy is not impressive as Shang-Chi. Unfortunately, he's no Hugh Jackman in terms of owning a role. So, and plus, it was nice to get the hell out of the house for the first time in a while and actually be able to go see a movie. So, and Hungry Boy is vouching for Lemon Pie. He said he's good people, so he must be obviously an awesome person. Yep. So, thank you for joining the show. Yep. Now, let's see what other messages we got in the chat here. Oh, Einhard says, my friends dragged me to see Shang-Chi. We spent the entire time making fun of the whole mess. Well, I took my friends to Green Lantern for my birthday on June 17th, so I got that beat. So I still hear about that. No, it's all good. Everything's okay. And the Enterprise, everything's you got power back.
Yeah, we had just a bit of a misunderstanding there. Some noise. I got to take
Fire
care of
alarm
there.
Went off.
Travel effing slattery. Oh God!
I tried to vamp for a few seconds. Yep.
You did it
I hope
fine.
I did it okay. Yep.
Sorry about that.
Everyone kept asking for a certain clip, but I couldn't play it.
Oh no, that's true. But if I had a way to make you to give you that power like I have on yours,
I think if we can talk about it after. I think there's a way actually to do it, but
really,
there's a workaround for that. Yeah.
So you'd be able to do.
There'd be no show anymore. We just been nonstop. On the rain. Yeah.
Well, what can you do? Anything else going on we need to talk about before we get out of here? Because we're gonna be back here tomorrow night with Raquel.
No, I think we covered a lot of good stuff. I did see. Well, this is just family stuff, but I did. One of my buddy Rob, who we talk about a lot. His son was out visiting, and it turns out he's got a YouTube channel, and I'm like, well, I've got a YouTube channel, and I looked him up. I'm like, oh crap, you got 7,000 followers. Like I got 290. So he does music. Maybe I'll post it in if anyone wants to give him a follow. But he does like a lot of music and producing and stuff, and he's been through some tough times. So I got to see him today, and he's doing great. And I'm just getting personal here, but he's spit an image of my buddy too. It's kind of the time flashed to see him, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun to see. So he subbed to me today, and I subbed to him. So, but it was fun to see him. I'm like, I didn't know you were doing YouTube. So it was pretty cool. Let me see if I can find his channel here. This
whole time I had the wrong background. Hold on. Zacharot, what's up, dude?
Oh yeah, you do have there you go.
I screwed up. No, that's okay. We had our buddy Mark C there, so it's always good to have him. God bless him. Yeah. We're talking about comics anyway, so what the hell? It was an extension of Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk, but it is Wild Card Wednesday night. I'm an idiot. Sorry, everybody. I was looking right at the screen only for like 2 freaking hours and didn't do that. I'm an idiot.
I didn't notice it either, so you should fire me.
We are both fired, folks. So now you have dead air. I think we should.
Latvia tonight. Went to Latvia.
Latvia.
I went to Latvia. I mean,
I would fire us both and put Phantom Outsider and Hungry Boy to do the show, but they won't do it. They won't take the job, I don't think.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, here I found his link. Let me put that in. It's not comic related, but this is Wild Card Wednesday, so
yeah, it is wild card. Now it really
the
is.
wild card. So now I can be wild.
Be
wild, yeah.
What you got?
So let me find his. Make sure I got his right channel. Here, these YouTube channel. Here we go. Here's the. There's all kinds of names. So here it is. So let me throw that in. So it's music. It's not, hey, it's okay. It's legal to do on Wild Card Wednesday. So if anyone feels like a follow, there we go. Yep.
We'll see.
My buddy's kid. So why not get him to 8,000?
No, but the okay, yeah, please
link,
do.
Yeah.
There's the link, folks. Please, that's a YouTube channel, eh? Please,
yeah, he's got a YouTube channel. He just
subscribe.
started. He just started doing videos again, and but he had one video. 2.2 million views 5 years ago. So he had one that really took off. So this was a while ago, but but it's just fun to see that next generation, right? The cool kids taking over for us old get off our lawn types.
Yes, and get the hell off my lawn while you're at it. Yeah. Yes, sir, buddy. So let's see what's going on. We got of course I'm gonna start doing some making some comics review videos. I was supposed to do it last month. Yeah, I'm gonna start doing some of those. We're gonna have a member stream next week. Finally, it's tough to. It is almost impossible to find the time to do it. Not for me, but a time I know the time that I know is a decent time for everybody to get together for streaming. So I'm gonna do it. I guess. I'm gonna have to do the only kind of free slot I've got is on a Monday, sort of like how J-Man and I did our 6 o'clock review. Because every other night everybody's doing stuff. So Monday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time, there will be a members only stream where all my good friends, Clobberins and Clobberettes and Clobberonis and all those other friends. I don't know who's going to show up. I hope everyone will. And what I'll do is, we'll have I'll put the link out to everyone, to the members only thing, like in the community thing or something like that, and it'll be a private stream for all of us. And you can come on and hang out and talk with me if you so choose. You can. You're gonna need a mic and a headset.
I love it. Eric K. Watch who you're calling a member. You are a
member. Yes, indeed, member berries. But Eric K, I hope you'll hang with us. Again, you're a busy man, but so yes. Anyway, I'm gonna make it 6. That way, I'll be able to do that for a little while, then go back later and do Monday night March C Comics talk, because Tuesdays are impossible. Pretty much, even though I'm not doing a show on Tuesday night, I go on. Midnight's Edge. They do their show at like 6 or 7, I think.
Okay.
Then Nick does his show. I don't want to confront. I don't like to cross streams with any of my friends, so I don't want to do that.
Yep.
And then then they got, of course, again the Wednesday night. I got the comic book roundtable, which we canceled tonight, but Loki had to cancel. But usually we have that. So that, and then I have this at that, and then Thursday nights, the Night's Edge is doing a show again, and we've got the Clubhouse after that. Friday's no good. Saturday's no good. Sunday's no good. So,
why don't you stream Friday night? There's no one big streaming Friday night.
Yeah, right. There you go. Yeah, sure. So
RK will hang out for a bit. Awesome.
I hope so, man. I hope you'll come hang with us. So anybody, of course, who wants to join us, if all you need is a mic and a headset, and you don't have to. You can just sit in the chat if you want to. But
Hungry Boy has a Rode NTG5.
Has a what?
Nice. Rode makes awesome camera gear, micro known for professional grade microphones. So, and they're I think they're from down under too, Rode, if I'm not mistaken. So he's got a nice maybe he'll come on and talk. I don't know.
I hope he does.
That'd be pretty cool.
Hungry Boy, I hope you will join us. it looks like no one's under obligation. Phantom says, so what I'm hearing is Clobby wants to talk to his member. Yeah. YouTube should be done in Prime. Yep. Yes, sir. Hungry Boy, you better show up. I hope you do. But Phantom outside, you better show up. And you better come talk to me. You probably don't have a microphone or headphones, do you, you primitive caveman, you? So, anyway.
Yeah, the NTG5, that's a shotgun mic. So that's, don't shoot anyone with that, Hungry Boy.
Shotgun mic.
Yeah, shotgun mic. Yeah.
I don't know what else. So, anyway, what else? What do you think? You got anything going on?
Well, I'm going to try to actually finish my Comic-Con video from last year. Just the photos. You guys have all seen them, but I want to. I realized I only did part. I was going to break it up into 4 parts. Not terribly exciting, but. And then I'm going to experiment with some shorts because my buddy's kid who was here today was showing me. I'm like, how do I do a short? Show me how I do a short, Andrew. And he's like, well, you didn't say dummy. It was like old person. Hit this, hit the plus button here, and then you click short, and it records for you. So I might do some toys, or maybe I'll do some. Thinking I'll do some shorts from Comic-Con. Just if I see
Short.
What
short? StreamYards?
YouTube shorts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I've never done one, but like if I see like a cool toy or something, if I see like a thing or something, you're like, hey, here's the new thing figure, or if I see like a Detective 27, I might do a few, experiment with some. I might do a few before I go, but I'll definitely, on the Sunday Night Geekery be doing an in-depth coverage, but I might try to do some stuff from the show, or maybe even try to go live for a few seconds. We'll see how that. I'm no Culture Casino walking around with I might stumble on things and fall over. Lorena, they do a great job. They're walking through the theme park. So like, how do you guys hold the camera, talk, and walk at the same time?
D-Bud, I'll definitely be going for a while. So if you can make it, hope you can. That's just the only window I can think of. It really is. I could think of maybe, I don't know. It's really the only window I can think of.
Yeah, 5 or 6. That's a good time.
And it's Monday. It's just everybody else. Mondays, a lot of people stream, but the other nights are just really crowded. So,
well, plus if you got someone that's like a Purple Valkyrie or friends across the pond, at least they could stay up late. And I'm not sure what time it is for Hungry Boy there, but then it's maybe a little bit more, a little bit more manageable for those people.
Sir.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, thanks for being here with us tonight. Appreciate you. Let's see. Please join us tomorrow night for the Clubhouse. Raquel and Mark and I will be clubhousing at you.
Yeah.
And that'll be Clobby's Clubhouse number 50. A landmark issue. How about that?
Wow. Nice. Yeah. We'll never remember, though.
No, we'll never. It's legacy numbering all the way, babe. So anyway, and of course Saturday Night Star Trek. Don't forget, everybody.
Yeah,
we got the season finales of second season of Saturday Night Star Trek. 2 episodes, and then we will have a season wrap up. So hope you all can join us for that.
And Phantom saying 1 year of the Clubhouse. When was our first issue of the Clubhouse?
We missed one. This is 50 now.
So I wonder
we missed one. So we're very close to it. Yeah.
I hope we didn't miss. With an anniversary, you never want to miss an anniversary with a woman
this is
involved.
Number 50. So. And remember, we missed one, right?
52. Yeah. So, but no, but
we couldn't have missed it yet.
But no, but you go by the date that you started, though. That's
like
1 year time.
52 weeks yet.
Yeah. No, but we missed one. I think next week will be we'll have to check.
Yeah, it could be next week. Wow, we'll see what we can do. Yeah. Anyway, we won't make a big to do about number 50 anyway.
No.
So, in fact, 51, yeah, that makes sense because remember we missed one. So there we go. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here tonight. The great Eric K, the master of the Reds J-Man, was here earlier. Our wonderful first officer, R.M. Briggs, the commander, she popped in for a little bit before the stream. Let's see here. Who else we got? Brian Hepburn, thank you so much, buddy. Gwagnar, thank you. Classic Comics, thank you for being here with us. Gwagnar, thanks, buddy. D-Bud Martin, my brother, appreciate you. Phantom Outsider. Dadman Clan popped in earlier.
Hey, Dadman.
Yep, Dadman. Donnie Pearson, thank you so much for being here. Let's see here. Minimus and Steve Mitchum. Oliver Belamonte was here. The great Andy Masterson popped in earlier. Hail to you, sir. Damn, jumping on me here. Okay, Pops popped in for a brief second. Good, thank you, Pops. And by the way, always a shout out to everyone who is either out there listening on a rerun, watching us on a repeat or rerun, or those of you who have lurked. We appreciate the lurkers. Thank you so much. We're really, really happy to have you here with us. Canadian Spider-Man popped in earlier. Yes, indeed. Always great to see you. Just another red shirt popped in as well. Apollomies, Minion, and the Pupper were here. I'm getting there, folks. Doesn't take too long. I already said Minimus. I said Steve Mitchum. And, of course, the great Hungry for More Starlin, like the 1970s Gamora. Hungry Boy, the official artist of Clobberin's Times. Good to see you, buddy. Claude Selling was here as well. Selling, sorry. Thank you, Claude. Let's see here.
Hungry Boy, watch where you point that mic.
Yes. Lemon Pie, a new friend. Thank you for the show, being here, Lemon Pie.
Sounds like he's Hungry Boy's buddy.
Oh, Lemon Pie knows Hungry Boy?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. He was vouching for him.
Well, nice. Excellent. Glad to have you here, Lemon Pie. Now I want a lemon pie. Your Muslim uncle popped in. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you for being here. Your Old Toys was here. We had some wonderful bots. We always liked him. Tobar the robot was here. Yeah. Tobar. Hey. Ironhide 84. Thank you for being here with us tonight. Now I'm gonna say it like I always say it. You know how I always say it, and it always turns out to be not true. I think we got everybody. Now watch me find out that is not the case. What do you think? Am I right this time?
Happens. That always happens.
Let's see here. Let me see. I'm going to test myself here. Let's see if for once I got it right. I'm confident this time. I'm confident that I've shouted out everybody. But we're going to make sure. Oh, God. See, I knew I screwed Ezra Goldstein.
You missed Ezra.
And I didn't even see Ezra's name here. I just thought of it. So that's pretty good. Because I'm trying to. There's Ezra's now. Say Ezra. Sometimes I have to shout him out when I'm not even looking at him because I just remember and want to get him out there. Now I know for a fact this is it. I've nailed it. I've gotten everybody. What do you think?
I think you did. Yep. Oh, and our first Clobbering Clobby's Clubhouse was September 30th, 2001.
Oh, okay.
So maybe we missed two of them. So we got to tell Raquel we missed the anniversary.
It was September 30th?
September 30th, 2001.
Doesn't make any sense. This is
2021.
Here.
Yeah, Clobberin Times 217, 917, Clobby's Clubhouse number 1 with Raquel and Mark D.
I don't understand. Yep. Wouldn't that have... Did I misnumber the thing?
Or maybe we did two. We missed 2 weeks.
We missed 1 week, so we should be farther back. Sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at the number, and you do a great job keeping the playlist up to date too.
I don't know.
Look at the number.
Okay, so that sounds about right then, I guess.
You got it. You got it numbered right. 20. Let's see. Counting is hard. One. Oh, you did. Oh, you did 2 number 30s. Oh my God.
I did. Damn you.
Oh, yeah. No, and it's a number 30, so you got to go in and renumber.
So this one's number 51.
Yeah, so that's what happened.
Tonight's tomorrow will be 51, folks. I'll fix it. This could be a pain in the ass.
Oh, that's a pain because it's a number 30 too. Well, I hate it when that happens.
3.
Yeah, it's gonna go in.
God, ram it.
Add 1 to each one.
I'm terrible about that
Damn
kind of thing. That figures. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for being here with us tonight, and no thanks to Mark for all the work I'm going to have to do now. I appreciate you catching that. Actually, thank you. Everyone, have a fantastic rest of your evening and week, and hopefully we will see you back here at the clubhouse tomorrow night. We'll talk We'll talk about all kind of fun stuff. I don't even know what, but I'll
We'll figure it out.
Beat up on She-Hump, that's for sure. Good night, everybody.
It's Clobberin time.
Sorry. I'm having some issues here. I hate
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
If you proceed, Clobberin, you'll come with me.
I just love Clobberin time.